minutes late. We only 5 minutes late. Can you believe it? I can barely believe it. You know what it is, man. That's what happens when you constantly evolving, constantly improving, getting better every day. You know what I'm saying? We used to be 15 minutes late. Now we only 5 minutes late. Constant improvement, man. That's what Victory Talk is all about. Matter of fact, let's get into it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to learn more so we can earn more, so we can spurn more. I think that's what Ty Lopez was saying. What's going on? It's your man, Big Brandon Carter, and welcome to another episode of that Victory Talk. This is the podcast where we help you build your money, your muscle, and your mindset. All right. You know what I'm saying? This is all about victory, accomplishing goals. We don't spread no negativity here. We don't talk about nothing negative. All we talk about is winning, right? You never see winners hating. You know what I'm saying? You never see Steph Curry talking trash about people because he winning. You don't hear Patrick Mahomes complaining, bitching, and moaning because he winning. He ain't got to. They complain about Patrick. They complain about Steph. They complain about the winners. I want you to be the one they complaining about. I want you to be the one they hating on. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen, hopefully you'll accomplish so much that they'll eventually kill you. Right? Because that's what they do. That's what they do when you really going hard, when you really winning, they kill you. We don't have to look a lot of historical examples of this, you know what I'm saying? The Martin Luther King. Y'all ain't have the Martin Luther King where you're from in Iran. No. There was no Martin Luther King in Iran, but he was a good man. Killed him. You know what I'm saying? They got, we fucking Abraham Lincoln. This would be 2 countries had it not been for him. And I'd be cleaning the place. You know what I'm saying? And they killed him. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like a good guy. He has some good ideas. Listen, this might be a controversial take, but I don't care. I don't care how much controversy this brings on me. I got to speak the truth. I got to speak my truth. I think Jesus was a good guy. I think he was cool. And what they do, they killed him. Italians. They killed him, man. It was like, hey, you was the king of the Jews over here, huh? Hey, I don't know if that's how Romans talk. That's how I imagine Romans talk. Hey, this guy thinks he's the fucking king of the Jews over here, huh? I don't know. That's what it was like. That's what I think it was like. That's all the times I know they talk like this over here. Eh? Bippity boppity. You know what I'm talking about over here? Eh? But we forgive them. That's what Jesus would have wanted us to do. I digress. The point is, if you ball hard enough, they'll kill you. And we want to get you to that point. You know what I'm saying? And in order to help you get to that point where you're balling so hard, winning so much that you have to evade assassination, we put something together for you. It's called the Victory Unit. It's a free Discord. Free. 100% free. And click in there. There's a bunch. I got free courses in there. And we giving advice in there every day. Me, my team. And it's a collection of like-minded individuals who are on the same mission to build their money muscle mindset. You know what I'm saying? Now you notice I didn't mention women. I didn't mention, how do you get women? How do you get girls? most of you guys won't ever get to the level where they want to kill you for balling so much, right? You're not Martin Luther the King. You're not Jesus, the jizzle. You know what I'm saying? We'll never get that. Most of us will never get that far, including myself, right? But if you're balling hard, you can't get to the point where you're balling hard. And in that point, it won't be the Italians trying to kill you. It won't be the Confederate. It won't be people who are trying to divide the Union of the United States like Lincoln, right? It'll be the Thots. Yeah. It'll be the Thots. And that's why this show and every episode of Victory Talk is sponsored by Thot Repellent. Yeah. This is made by ballers for ballers, right? Because when you're balling super hard, really winning at life, the Thots, they're going to be all on you. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get pregnant so they can have your black babies. Then they look, gotcha, motherfucker. 18 years, you're going to be holding me down. That's why you keep the Thot Repellent on deck. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Throwing the BBLs and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's tempting, brother. But you got to stay away, man, because they're gonna ruin you. They're gonna ruin you. And they're gonna really slow you down from victory. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you balling. It's like most of you motherfuckers aren't disciplined enough. You're not disciplined enough to withstand any temptation, right? Like little shit throw you guys off. Motherfuckers, man, can't stop playing video games. That's the kind of temptation you got to deal with, man. How do I stop eating snacks? Right? You know what I'm saying? Imagine when you balling. Imagine when you balling. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of chicks hit you up. 2 chicks hit you up. Hey, man, me and my friends having a dick sucking contest, and we want you to be the judge. How you can't withstand that? You can't not eat the chips. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to sleep on time. You can't put the goddamn joystick down and stop playing World of Minecraft for a fucking for an afternoon. You know what I'm saying? We want to get you to that point, though. We want to get you to that point because once you build that discipline to withstand the little shit, you're gonna need more discipline when you get to the top. You're gonna be more disciplined when you get. For example, one of my homies last basketball season hit me up. Yo, I got floor seats for the Heat game. I love floor seats, man. And I love the Miami Heat. And I love basketball, but you knew that because I'm black. And I say, nah. I gotta film the Victory Talk podcast. Y'all go ahead without me. Y'all couldn't have fucking said no to that. But when you get to the point, you're gonna have to say no to women, right? They're gonna be trying to throw you off your game, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys fall off. That's why we put together Thot Repellent. This will repel thoughts for 8 to 12 hours. We're working on a 24-hour formula. But it'll be like a barrier, a force field. Right? Well, the thoughts, they'll try to come, but it'll be like when you spray a roach. They're just coming. Think of it like mosquito spray, but it's freak hoe spray. And it keeps them off you, man. They can't get close. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? You want to get to the point where you need Thot Repellent. All right. All your super chats go towards the research and development for Thot Repellent. We want to bring this to the masses, but we need your help. So all your super chats are going to go towards that development. All right. We got a fucking army of nerds working around the clock in the labs, fucking beakers and shit. You know what I'm saying? They fucking doing experiments on little animals and shit. Yo, I used to work for Abbott Laboratories. So I know I went down to the labs. They had a fucking bunch of dogs and cats. They were doing experiments at. And that's how you guys get your drugs. That's how you get your pharmaceuticals. So we're doing the same thing. And But that costs a lot of money, man. You don't know how many puppies had to die to get this Thot Repellent to the point where it is. And more are going to have to die. And all your super chats go towards that. It's a small price to pay, man. They man's best friend. So if you my best friend, you'll die for me. No. If they won't die, if they're not willing to die for me, then that's false advertisement on the part of those animals. Anyway. Oh, it's going to be one of those kind of episodes. I see what's happening here. I see what's happening here. It's going to be one of those kind of episodes. Hey, I got a free course for you. It's called Baller Mindset. Type in the chat if you've been through it, or you started going through it, and if you found it helpful. All right, it's definitely better than almost every course that motherfuckers are selling, including the ones my friends are selling. I know, I've been through it, man. It's like, and I better than them, because my goal was to, hey, I want, these guys got courses, I'm gonna make one better than them. It's gonna be free. Catch up, motherfucker. Catch up, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's the Blackjack Mastery say? Baller Mindset is the best thing on the market. Come on, Blackjack. Shout out to Blackjack. I gotta know what's up. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Hunter Jeff's going through it a second time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. He's really trying to ball. Baller Mindset is a real life. Baller Mindset. Real life changed my mindset. I don't know if I'm dyslexic. I don't know if it's because I don't know. I like it, man. I like it. I like whatever you meant. I don't know what you said, but I know what you meant. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? David Diaz, man, been through it. Really good stuff, man. There's a lot of truth in that statement, Mr. Diaz. You know what I'm saying? Billy Billy Hangung. It's an amazing course. My mentor, MLD, shout out to him, introduced me, you know what I'm saying, and his students. That's what's up, man. Thank you, Billy Hangung. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is, man. Listen, but right now, I want to get into some stuff that's going to help you guys. You know, Baller Mindset, one of the courses I put together for you guys, because I want you guys to keep learning, because learning is one of the habits that you're going to need to succeed, to really win. And there's a whole lot of habits you're going to need to invoke and cultivate in order to really be a winner. That's why I put together a segment called Habits of a Winner. Goddamn right. Habits of a winner, man. Habits of a winner. All right. Pay attention. In this video, I want to explain to you how you can be consistent no matter what. I'm going to explain to you why consistency is important, and how being inconsistent is actually more detrimental to your success and mental health than you even thought, right? If you do this right, I promise you, your life will look like your life will look like an unbroken boulevard of green lights. It will look like constant cascade of victory and achievement. However, if you do this wrong, well, there's not much hope for you, right? You'll live on the boulevard of broken dreams, and you know, the haters, the people who are hating on you, who said you couldn't accomplish things in life and said you would never be anything, you'll realize that they weren't hating. They were just making an accurate assessment of your situation. You will end up proving them right. You will live a life of regret, sorrow, unhappiness. And the only bright spot in your life will be those 5 minutes a day where you masturbate in the shower. But I don't want that to happen to you anymore. I want to get you on a path to victory and consistent victory. And the main thing that's stopping people from accomplishing their goals in life is a lack of consistency. Right. So if you struggle with being consistent in anything you're trying to accomplish, this may be the most important video you have ever watched. You know? All right. Oh. I'll tell you a story to illustrate my point. I'm gonna give you an example from fitness, but this example you can extrapolate to any part of your life. And during this, and later on in this video, we'll talk about how to incorporate these tactics and deploy them against any goal you have, right? But this story is going to give you a good representation and understanding of how this works. So back when I was an in-person personal trainer, I was training these two girls and they were sisters. One's name was Erica and the other name was Ashley. All right. Now, Erica was getting fantastic results, right? And this is what her training looked like, right? She had to, so this was her, sorry, this was through the week. Right? Those boxes represent a week, right? And then she had to track her diet and her workouts. Okay. Now, Ashley was on the same plan, right? Same plan. And she had to follow the same diet and exercise regimen. Right. And these boxes represent a week, right? So Erica was consistent. She followed the exercise every day. Boom. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Right. And she did her diet every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. All right. Most of y'all don't know nothing about this. Most of you guys have never done anything consistently every day. That's why you're surfing around fucking YouTube looking for advice from strangers. All right. But luckily, your goofy ass found it. So pay attention. Get your notebooks out, motherfucker. Ashley's shit would look more like this. Right. Oh, the first day, man, she fired up, ready to go. Second day, oh man, she fired up, ready to go. Ooh, what happened on day 3? Oh man, it's a motherfucking example. This is a motherfucking office party, right? Oh, she office motherfucking party or something, right? Oh, she doesn't work out that day, right? Let me make it here so we got it. Right. But you know, she did follow the diet, right? So at least she's doing something, right? At least she did something. That's what you motherfuckers be thinking while you're fucking losing. All right. Then next day, oh shit, you know, man, she didn't work out this day. Something happened, fucking who knows, some bullshit. And then but then she misses her fucking diet that day too. Right? She's like, all right. Fucked up. I'm gonna get back on track though. No problem. All right, cool. She's back on. Next day, she come back strong. Uh-oh. Then this day, you know, oh man, she messed up on her diet. You know, something happened, but she worked out. Blah, blah, blah. Then fucking Sunday, man, you know, I worked out most days and I follow my diet most days. So I deserve to take a day off, right? Now, if you look at it on paper, she did most of the things, most of the days, right? And that's what most of y'all do. Most of the things you're supposed to do most of the days, right? Now, and that mindset that it's okay to do a little bit sometimes is really fucking you up. And it's causing you to not make progress and then be pissed about it. Let me show you why. Because to burn 1 pound of fat, 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories, right? So you got to burn 3,500 calories to burn a pound of fat. Okay. If you want to burn 1 pound a week, then you got to be in a caloric deficit of 500 calories every day, right? You do that for 7 days in a row, you burn a pound of fat, right? Sounds easy, right? Let's look at it now. So day one, Ashley, she followed her diet, man, 2,000 calories. Fantastic. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, she consumed 2,000 calories, right? She followed her workout too, so she burned 2,500. Boom. 500 calorie deficit. Hey, man, we making progress, right? Day two, she was still fired up. You know, she started something new. You know how you motherfuckers do. You start something new and you're fucking all about it for 2 days, right? She's following her shit. She's on point. Oh shit, look at it. Oh, she's on the path to burning that pound of fat this week. She's on the right path. Oh, but remember day three though. Day three, she didn't work out, right? So she followed her diet, but she skipped the workout. So she just burned like the normal calories you burn, like walking around. She didn't get that extra 500 from the workout. All right, whatever. Cool. Seems like nothing, but let's see, you know? All right. So this day was kind of like a wash, right? No progress or anything. Day 4 though. Ooh, she totally fell off the diet. She had that office party or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't work out. She didn't work out that day either. So she only burned her regular base calories. Oh shit, she's in a fucking 1,000 calorie surplus. Oh shit, well, what that mean? Oh, my fault. I put this on the wrong day. Did I do this right? Oh, sorry. Oh, now she's like, all the progress she made those other 2 days is gone. It's like she did fucking nothing. She fucked it up already. All right. She realized she fucked up. Boom. She's back. She's back on it. You know what, man? Fuck this shit. I'm going to get my summer body. I'm going to get the hot girl summer. Right. Cool. She's back on her shit. Cool. Oh. What happens? She slips up again. Yeah, she does the workout. That's the easy part. She does the workout. But man, something happened. Her friend was in town or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And she was offered a grind with the diet. So now she had more calories than she should have when she went out at dinner. You know what I'm saying? You know, sorry, is this right? Oh, I'm sorry, this is wrong. Yeah, she had more calories. She went out dinner, then had a few drinks. So she's off point. Fuck. Back to baseline. And then fucking Sunday, oh man, I deserve it. I deserve a day off. And then she goes to like a football fucking viewing party. I'm sorry, this is and she doesn't work out. She doesn't work out that day. So she just burned her regular calories. Fucking bitch got fatter. But if you look at the chart, she did the shit most of the days. She's like, you know, more than 50%. She's over 50%. Most of the day, she did most of the shit. Still ended up getting fatter. Right? As were her fucking sister was, you know, she did the right things every day. Boom, she loses a pound of fat that week. Right? Now, she keeps this charade over a month. Right? Her sister's losing 4 pounds. Right? And she's fucking gaining weight, bitch getting fatter. And she says, oh, I can't do it. It's my metabolism, or it's easy for her, or blah, blah, blah. I'm working out. I'm doing all this shit. You know, no, bitch. You doing some of the shit some of the time. You know what I'm saying? You doing some of the shit some of the time. What do you think happens after 2 months of this bullshit? Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Ashley quit. She gave up, right? Her sister kept going though, because she was fired up. She was getting results, man. 12 weeks later, her sister lost 12 pounds of fat and she was hot. Where Ashley looked like motherfucking doo-doo. All right. She was looking worse. It's her. Fat ass. Bitch was looking worse. Right? That's how both of you guys go about your goals. See, the problem is you're never consistent. So you do some things sometimes, or even most of the time, right? But you end up making no progress or less, right? Because we go into a goal thinking, we go into something thinking that, oh man, if we do 50% of the fucking work, we'll get 50% of the progress. Like, you won't get all of it, but you'll get, halfway. No, I showed you from an example. Ashley did a little more than 50% and got fucking worse. You know what I'm saying? Made a little progress at first and it got fucking worse. Bitch was looking gross. Worse. Not my fault. I told the bitch what to do. You got to do it though. You still got to do it. Her sister had a very similar genetic makeup. You know what I'm saying? And she was looking different, right? You think you're going to get half the results. Oh, I did something. Something's better than nothing. No, motherfucker. Nothing is better than something, because when you do just something, it gives you the erroneous belief that you are accomplishing something, but that is not true. It gives you fucking false hope. And then that false hope leads to frustration when you find out that the shit you doing ain't working. You know what I'm saying? It's the consistency of it. You got to be super consistent. Now, luckily, Ashley was tracking her diet and a workout, and calories burned and calories consumed every day. So she knew it was her fault. It was all her fault. Right. And then she later came back, started training after she saw her sister get hot, said she wanted to be hot too. And she followed the instructions and got hot. Which brings me to how do we fix this? How do we fix this? Well, this is not just fitness. This is everything in life. Every goal you want to have. I was just giving you an example, right, that you can understand. Well, you got to understand the power of tracking, right? If you're not tracking, you're slacking. So I read this book years ago, man, maybe fucking 15 years ago. It was called Mean Genes. You don't have to read it. I'm about to tell you the best part. But it was good. It was written by like some fucking Harvard chicks or some shit. I don't know. Right. But they talked about the way that pharmaceutical companies test drugs, right? Fat loss drugs. This is important. They're trying to develop drugs to help fat people stop being fat, right? And they'll have typically about 3 groups, right? They'll have the placebo group, right? Boom. These people, they got a fake drug. Right? Then you have the actual test group, and they get the real drug. But then they'll have a control, and they get nothing. Right? They get fucking nothing. No drug. All right. No drug. And then what they're hoping. See, they know the placebo effect is real, right? So they want to rule that out, but plus they want to have a group where they give somebody nothing, right? And what happens is they're hoping that this group, the test group, outperforms all of them, right? But outperforms all of them. What happens every time they do one of these tests, and you could check the book out if you want, right? Mean Genes by some hoes. I forget the name of it. What they notice is what they tell them is, hey, your diet and exercise, don't change nothing. Don't change nothing with your diet and exercise. The only thing we want you to do is track what you eat. That's all you got to do. Just track what you eat. We're not telling you go on a diet. We're not putting you on fucking keto, Atkins, goddamn, what's this shit called? South Beach diet, the fucking Weight Watchers, Slim Fast. None of that shit. Track the normal shit you normally eat. Eat normal, but just track it. Just write this shit down, ho. All right. Here's the thing. Every time they do one of these, right? All three groups see some progress. Right? The placebo, the fake group, you might say, oh, the placebo, that's the placebo effect. That's real, right? Well, these other guys, they got a drug, so maybe that works. But fuck, this group makes progress too. Why does the fucking group that got nothing make progress? It's because the power of tracking, right? It's the first time in these motherfuckers' life where they thought about what they put in their mouth, right? Before then, they were just putting anything in their mouth like a whore. Now they're actually putting some thought into it. And what happens is when you track it, when you observe it, you make what? Better decisions, right? And this was illustrated in something called the Hawthorne effect. During the Industrial Revolution, right? There was all these factories. Some factories were just way more productive than other factories. And a researcher, this is a factory I'm drawing, right? No, I'm a fantastic artist. No, just try to focus though, right? So the homie Hawthorne and his squad of researchers, they would go to these factories to try to figure out why some were performing better than others. And the only thing they did when they went to each factory, they just said, hey, fucking workers, keep doing your same shit. We're just going to watch you for a week and observe, take notes. Right. And they would go from factory to factory doing this shit. The funny thing happened, though, is every time they went to a different factory, productivity started to skyrocket at each factory. And it left soon as Hawthorne and the homies left. Soon as Hawthorne and the homies left, productivity would go back to this previous baseline. And what Hawthorne and them noticed was, oh, human beings perform better when they're being observed. Human beings perform better when they're being observed. And you've seen this before. You know, man, you know. Remember when you was in grade school, right? And the teacher would lead the class, right? I remember I was in 5th grade. Teacher lead the class. You can start rolling blunts, shooting dice. It's just twerking and shit. Shit's going crazy, right? Then, as soon as the teacher come back, niggas put the fucking weed away. Hoes stop twerking. Niggas stop gambling. You know what I'm saying? Stop showing each other the guns and shit. It's back to normal, right? It's because when they're being observed, they're going to perform better, right? Now, when you're tracking, you're the observer. It works even if you're the observer. That's what proves in these weight loss pill studies, right? The mere fact of tracking is the fucking weight loss drug, right? They're just trying to see if this fucking science shit they put together outperforms the other groups. But all three groups, even the ones who do nothing, all they do is track what they do, they perform better, right? Right? Because, and it's for two reasons. One, just tracking, you'll make better decisions. But two, you can actually see why you're not making the progress you want or why you are making the progress. Right? For example, one of my students who we teach build their online fitness business. His name is Corinne, right? He's a vegan, but he's a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? We're friends. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's vegan, I know, right? But but he's the man, and he's making like $20K a month, right? And then his income like really started to dip. It started to dive, and it was like below 10K a month one month. And I had these sheets, these Google sheets that these tracking sheets, certain metrics that my students are supposed to fill out every day so we can see it, right? One, I want to help keep them accountable with what we're talking about here, but also if there's a problem, now we can look at the data and make a fair assessment of how to fix it. So Corinne, he's a G, so he was doing his sheets every day, and I looked at his tracking sheet and I said, man, we teach our students to sell on the phone, right? To book sales calls with their clients, and then sell and do the sales call over the phone or on Zoom, right? And I noticed, man, there's a lot of no-shows. Like his no-show percentage, like yo, half the people you book for calls aren't showing up. It wasn't like that the month before. He's like, yeah, I know, man. That's something I noticed. I was like, well, let's just work on that. That might be the only thing we have to fix. If we could just tighten up that metric, then we can I'm sure things would improve. If everything else stays the same and that metric improves, you should be back to normal. So we gave him some tips on how to improve his no-show rate. So basically I was saying, make sure you text everybody 24 hours before the call, and text them the morning of to remind them. Sometimes people just forget, and set up a Google Calendar event and add them to it and invite them to it so it shows up in their Google Calendar. And a few other things that we implemented, and his no-show rate significantly improved, right? And then he was back to making 20K a month, right? But it was cool. It was easy to find out what was going wrong because we just look at the data, right? That makes sense, right? So those are the two reasons why you knew. But tracking is the most important thing. And just like Ashley, she looked at the tracking and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking up. I'm a dumb bitch. I need to get my shit together." It's me, right? And then she came back. She got her shit on point, and then she got hot eventually. You know what I'm saying? The key point is that you need to figure out what the metrics are that you're trying to accomplish. The key point is anything you're trying to accomplish, track how much you do it. Set up some sort of tracking. So, like I said, I do this with my students that I teach. This is why my students get fucking amazing results, right? But even in my own life, so I showed you guys this before. I'm gonna show you one of my own habit trackers. And I'm gonna show you an old one from last year because now I'm tracking like all types of shit that's like kind of personal. Like I'm like every metric I think of, like how many times me and my girlfriend have sex. I'm tracking all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? That I want to show you, but this is one that I can't show you. Because before, I think about what do I have to accomplish every day that if I did it, I would. Well, if I did these things every day, success would be inevitable, right? It'd be impossible to fail. All right, cool. So boom. Here's what I could do. Did I work out? Boom. AM meditation, PM meditation. These are my metrics. Like you can, whatever you want, track my macros, right? Boom. 7 hours of sleep. Boom. I track every fucking transaction. Like I track every dollar I spend and every dollar I make, and I categorize it, and I use mint.com to do that, right? So I know exactly what's in income and outcome. Something called the flex pitch. I can't tell you what it is, but it makes me money. Practice Spanish, right? Study. That's why I'm so fucking smart. But this is just the date. I don't know why that's way over here. Let's move that. You know what I'm saying? All right, boom. Working on content. That's how I got, over 1 million followers on multiple platforms. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's 1 million on YouTube, 1 million on Instagram, 1.5 million on the Facebook. TikTok, that's the one I've been on the least amount of time. It's what, 400,000? Yeah. I mean, man, like, listen, I don't even have to look at those numbers because I know if I work on my content every fucking day, it's just gonna happen. My time I spend with my girlfriend. This is also important because let's say My girl was telling me a story that she was in a hair salon not long ago, and this one chick was saying how she's mad at her boyfriend because they don't spend enough time together. And then she said, and then one of her other friends said to the chick who was complaining, was complaining like, yo, it might be all in your fucking brain, right? It might just be in your head. Because I used to think that about my boyfriend, but he had been tracking the time we spend together. And then he showed me the data. I felt stupid, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because what you think happened, what you think is going on may not be reality, right? Because everybody I've ever trained, once we have them tracking their diet, they all end up saying shit. I mean, if they've never done it before, they all say, damn, I didn't know I was eating that much, or damn, I didn't know I was eating so little, Like it's like they didn't even know, but they thought they were eating a lot, or they thought they were eating enough, or they thought they were following a good diet. You ever hear these fucking assholes? Maybe you guys aren't fucking trainers, right? I've been a trainer for like 25 years, man. When you motherfuckers were fucking shitting your pants, jagging off the Teletubbies, I was fucking training 10 people a day in the gymnasium. That's why they call me Gymnasium Jesus. That's what they call me in the streets. Anyway, every time I said, so what's your diet? Like, oh man, I eat good. And I'm like, yeah, asshole. yeah. And then we get them tracking for a week. Damn, I didn't know. I had this one employee a long time ago, right? His name was I forget this motherfucker's name, man, because we fired him. But we gonna call him Django. All right. And Django, he's like, man, I want to do keto like you, Big Brandon Carter, Gymnasium Jesus. And I was like, all right, bet. And he said he started doing keto. And then he's like, man, you know what, man? It's like this keto shit is weird because I'm weak. Like I ain't got no energy, but I'm not hungry. And I'm like, how much you eating? He's like, man, I'm eating like a lot. I'm eating everything. And I said, are you tracking? He said, no. Of course I fired this motherfucker, right? But then I'm like, all right, open up MyFitnessPal. I want you to put in right now everything you ate yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Let's do the math. We had to estimate a little bit. This motherfucker had ate 1,000 calories. Like, of course you don't have energy, dumbass. And this is like almost everybody who says, man, I tried keto, I don't have any energy. Like, motherfuckers don't eat enough because ketogenic diet, it causes you to not be hungry, because that's what, when you're in ketosis, you're not hungry, right? So motherfuckers don't eat enough. And this motherfucker had 1,000 calories. I had to fire Django. Anyway, you might think you're doing right, but if you're not tracking, it's just, you could be fucking wrong. Just like Django, just like my girl's hairstylist, you know what I'm saying? And every other bitch in America, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, I track it but not to just be like, see, we did. No, not just that. Just also because I want to make sure I'm on point. Because I could be thinking, man, we spending a lot of time together, and it's like, yo, fuck, we not. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping, right? Or I could be thinking I'm on point with all this shit. But if I don't have the data, I'm fucking guessing, right? I'm fucking guessing. Now, if you look at this, I want to show you something. Look at this. Workout, boom, 87% of the time, right? And these are basically just like the rest days. You know, I work out every day, and I wait until life makes me take a rest day. But you know, I did pretty good, right? AM meditation, boom, 96% of the time. That's why I'm so cool, calm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Why you motherfuckers be panicking and shit, right? And the PM meditation, I did that 80% of the time. Not bad. Track my macros 100% of the time. I've been doing that for so long that it's kind of like, it would be difficult for me not to. It would be difficult for me to just put anything in my mouth. Like, yo, mama, sleep 7 hours a night. I did that 75% the time, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. At least 7 hours. Cool. Track my spending in the mint. You know I'm on top of that. You know I'm on top of the money, man. The acquisition of capital is super important. Flex pinch, that's something that makes me money. Did it 84% of the time. Practice Spanish. This is why I'm only okay at speaking Spanish. I'm only all right. You know what I'm saying? You know, yo habla un poquito español. Those gatos, those gatos visitar una mesa para leche. You know, negro fuertes para ejercicio abdominales. So yeah, I mean, my Spanish is good, but it's not great, and you see why. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's not, I'm not as fluent as I'd like to be, right? Studying, you know what I'm saying? Smart as fuck. Working on content, fucking social media. I don't know. I think we can say master, expert, God. I don't know. That's what some people say. I don't know. And I got a happy, loving relationship with Minovia. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, but I track this shit. So I'm not guessing, right? You really have to start tracking your shit to make sure you're on point. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I set this up with Notion. It's just a fucking simple database. People have been asking me for a template. I'm like, yo, this is fucking rudimentary shit. It's like not even complicated. You don't need mine. It's super simple. Or you can do it in, like, before I did this, before Notion existed, I was doing it in a Google Doc, right? I swear to God, you can ask me any day over the last like 10 years, and I tell you exactly what I ate, how many calories it was, how much protein I had that day, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you how many calories I burnt, right? You know, it's not I'm not fucking around out here, right? Because I'm serious about accomplishing my goals, and the beauty of this is, one, it keeps you accountable, so you're more likely to do the things when you're tracking. But also, if you're not getting the results you want, you'll be able to have data, and then you can assess the data and alter your game plan, you know, appropriately. So, like with Spanish, like what I needed to do was, okay, I just didn't practice, so I needed to adjust the time on my calendar to make sure I get to it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so good at Spanish. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they call me Papi Negro. You know what I'm saying? You go up to Washington Heights. Hey, Papi Negro. You know, and I'm back. You know, they know what's up. The streets know what's up. Listen, implement that strategy. I promise you'll get better results. And here's the thing. Here's the beauty thing. If you can be consistent over a long period of time, the beauty of it is, it's like we think that if we're consistent, right, that it will be like linear, right? It will be linear, you know, like meaning like, oh, we're consistent with this day, we'll get that day worse of results. No. If you are consistent, your results will be exponential, right? Because it compounds. Success compounds, not in fitness, right? But in fitness, it's more like it is more linear. Well, actually, in fitness, it's more important in fitness, right? Because in fitness, the gains are not linear. They're logarithmic. They're logarithmic. So it looks like you get a lot, you get those newbie gains, but then it's harder to make progress as you go on, right? If you're trying to build muscle, or if you're trying to lose fat, if you're like a real fat ass, like a straight obese motherfucker, you'll lose so much fat super quick. I trained one guy, he lost 75 pounds in 75 days, right? But that's because he was old fucking beast, right? You know, he was like well over 300 pounds. So like it's easy to lose fat then, but as you get leaner, it's more difficult to lose fat. So the progress slows down. Same thing with building muscle. You know, first year, maybe second year, you're going to get muscle easy, right? But then every year after, it's like a struggle, right? So it's logarithmic in fitness. But that's why this is where, like, past this point, this is where the actual real gains come from. When you see somebody who's like super muscular, like above average, like it's here, but you got to be super consistent to squeeze that much success, right? You got to be super consistent to get those extra bits, but that's where all the like super success comes from. Now, in business, it's exponential because everything compounds, right? For example, I was giving my students, one thing I tell them to do is to start 20 conversations with people each day to get leads, right? So they're getting leads, and they had just every day get 20 conversations. You don't, and I don't mean like when I say a conversation for them, I'm talking about you talking to somebody in the DM and they respond, right? It's not an outreach. So you might have to outreach to 100 people to get 20 conversations, right? Because listen, when I think it was like when that at one point, like I think after Kim Kardashian's first divorce, I might have DM'd her, right? But she didn't hit me back yet. So it's like that's not a conversation. That wouldn't count, if that makes sense, right? So they got to get 20 conversations. Boom. Let's say they do that over the course of 7 days, right? Boom. They get 20 conversations each day. Boom. I don't have my big ass calculator here, but I believe that is 140. Boom. They end up with 140 combos, right? But then, I mean, listen, some of my students are fucking lazy bastards. I ain't gonna lie, man. I yell at them consistently. You know what I'm saying? I consistently yell at them, man. They lucky we don't do this shit in person, man, because I'd be slapping people, man. Right. But they'll do that shit that people do, oh, I do it most of the time. Right. So this guy, he ends up with 80 leads. Right. 80 leads. Now here's the thing. Well, we notice, the worst conversion rate you'll get is like out of 100 conversations, maybe 1.8. Right? 1.8% will end up buying. Right? It's a long conversion process, right? Like you got to get them on a conversation, then you set up a Zoom meeting. Some will show up, some won't. But about 1.8% of those conversations end up converting. So let me get my calculator out. Good math, right? Boom. Oh. Right. Boom. So they'll end up with two. Obviously you can't have half a client, but like I'm just doing it for the math, right? 2.5 to about 2.5 clients. Obviously you can't have half a client, but we're just doing it for this, right? Right. Per, for the week. That's how many clients they get. Hey, that's not bad. Right. Now, this guy, let's say the other guy who's like doing this fucking sometimes, he ends up with 1.4. Right. All right. It's not, yeah, man, I got some results, and he will get some results, right? But here's the thing, it compounds. When you get a client with online training, it's not like selling them a course. Like you're training, you're working with them, right? So if we stretch that out, right, 2.5, right, and it's 52 weeks times 52. Well, this guy is going to end up with 103 clients, 131 clients for the year, right? Now, let's say you obviously he won't keep all those clients, or he won't have 100% retention. You know what I'm saying? No one will, right? But it starts to compound. Let's say half of them drop off. Let's say half of them drop off, which is not unusual. At some point, like maybe you keep them for like a few months, but then they drop off. Cool. All right, he ends up with 65 clients, right? But 65 clients paying you $80 a week. That's what we tell our students to charge, right? I mean, there's different pricing structures, right? But that's that's the basic, right? That's $5,000. That's $5,200 a year. I mean, a week, and some change, right? But if we times it by, boom, yeah, that's how he ends up with. This is not crazy. Like we have students. I had some students make $1 million last year, right? 200 per year. You know what I'm saying? But however, this guy is going to end up with about half that, right? This guy's going to end up with about half that, right? And you think that's not bad, half of that. Okay, cool. However, let's say, what I'm saying is it compounds. Like going every day, it starts to compound, is what I'm trying to say. Does this make sense? Are we getting this? Right? And then, but here's the thing. Some of these fucking assholes, they don't do none of this shit. Right? So they out here doing the shit almost never. You know what I'm saying? They pay me all this money and they're doing the shit like almost never, like straight up sometimes. And that's how you guys approach most of your goals. Let's be honest, right? Well, shit, man. Yo, like this conversion rate, these guys only end up with 40 fucking leads at a 1.8% conversion rate. Like he'll most likely fuck around and get no clients that week, right? Because it's too low, right? And it might make him 2-3 weeks to get one client. He's going to get frustrated and he's going to fucking quit, right? The same way Erica fucking quit, right? The same way you quit and all the shit you tried thus far. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important to be consistent, both mentally and just for your progress, right? Because in business, consistency compounds. It's not like fitness. Fitness is logarithmic, right? It's a logarithmic scale, right? But in business, consistency compounds and it starts to stack. You start making way more money, way more progress, and just any goals. It really starts to stack. It really starts to stack up, and that goes for almost everything. Is exponential when you're consistent. Almost anything, any skill you want to learn how to play guitar, you'll get a lot of. It's like once you start to like playing guitar, once you won't enjoy it until you get to a certain level of proficiency. Then once you get to that point, you'll want to play, and then what happens? So you start to skyrocket. It's like that with everything. You have to be consistent in order to learn. You have to be consistent in order to make progress. And the only way to be consistent is to track. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. I promise you. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. Make yourself some sort of sheet. I use Notion, but you don't have to. You can use just a Google sheet, man. Just track what you're doing every day, and then look at your results. I'm sure it'll be better than it was before you was tracking. And then if you're not getting the results you want, look at the data, make an assessment, and then make changes based off the data. I promise you do that over the course of a year. If you do that over a year, you'll make so much progress. You'll look like a different person, right? People will be amazed. If you start doing that for 10 years, 15 years, like me with fitness, right? That's how motherfuckers start saying, oh, he's on steroids, right? They were saying about me, right? Because I had been consistent for so long, you start to get results that people just won't believe. Now, I've done that in a few different domains, not only fitness, but in business, here on the internet. It's like being consistent for like a decade. That's when you get to a point where like people won't even believe it because they haven't been consistent anything for that amount of time, aside from being a bitch. Right? This is really how you set yourself apart from the masses, and this is why most people just don't accomplish everything. But if you take this to heart, you can really, I mean this by the bottom of my heart. If you take this in, you can really set yourself apart. For a year, you'll make impressive progress. But fucking 10 years is like 10, 15 years. That's when the magic happens. All right. Hey, oh, you know what time it is? Hope that was helpful. But you know what time it is, man? It's time for my trading mentor to get on. This man's helped me make hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're knocking on the door of millions in the market. And I bring him in here every week to help y'all make some money too. My man, Romulus. Let's bring him in. Romulus, what up, man? What's going on?
Oh, once again, Brandon, grateful for the chance to hang out with you, of course. I know you're doing great, tracking everything.
On, you know,
like a Mac daddy that you are.
you know it, man.
Yeah, I track my trades, by the way, and let me tell you something. It's brilliant, helpful stuff to get that going. People like to ignore it. You know, when I remember 2008, there was a joke going around, hey, my 401k is now a 201k. And really, I don't even know how bad it is because I keep stuffing the statements in the drawer or the garbage and forgetting about them. That's what happens. People don't track things. They don't track them intentionally, especially when things go poorly. But, you know, that's more important than ever to keep track of things when they're going poorly, because that's how you're going to make the course correct and get yourself right back on what? Right back on track.
Right back on track, man.
All right.
Speaking of course correct.
Yeah. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that you're even here tonight. I would have thought you made so much money on that trade that we did yesterday, today, that I thought, no, he's not even going to be here. He's gone. He bought his island. It's over.
Well, you know, man, I keep I try to stack the wins and compound them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it was a great little quick run here, but a big run.
Let's show them what we did. Let's show them what we did, if you don't mind.
All right. So let me bring this. Everybody, if you could just bear with us as we do the sharing of the screen. It's an age-old tradition that happens around here, but it does take a little bit of time to trick in. And 3, 2, 1. There you go. Here we go. Okay, good. So you kind of see this little downward run over here. See that? I'm highlighting this downward run. Okay, in some highly sophisticated and savvy investing circles, that is what's called as, okay, you ready for this big $25 word? That's called the downtrend, everybody.
It's a downtrend.
Yeah, I don't want to complicate things too much. It's called the downtrend. Keep it simple. It means it's trending down. I know you're with me. All right. So enough damage had been done in this mini little temporary downtrend so far, at least, that we felt there was time to go ahead and start pushing our chips in the right direction there a little more. So yesterday, we bought this sucker right here. You see right down there. We didn't buy it at the high of yesterday. We bought it right there at near the lows of yesterday. Yeah, and it has a huge run. Plus, we did something in the options world called selling covered calls. When you own something, when you own a piece of property, that is your property to do with what you wish.
That's right.
And you and I believe that on occasion, at certain times of the market cycle of the economic cycle and phases, that real estate is a good idea with some of our money. And we'll always believe it. There's always a time for just about anything if you do it at the right time. And when you own real estate, what is that to you? You can buy it, you can sell it. Of course, you can also rent it out and make money that way from your property. Well, I bought this particular security, S and then triple Q. Now it's my property. I own it. Yeah. Well, I can rent some of it out. That's what I did. I rented out an option. I took some money for the option. So not only did I make money as the stock price went up, but a few more days, I'll also make a bunch of money from this option that I sold off temporarily. And that's the trade of the day right there. Matter of fact, a bunch of the Centurions were calling it the trade of the year. That's how how much fun this, and it doesn't look like much. Yeah. It doesn't look like much. But, you know, it doesn't look like much either when the crocodile springs out of the water and tears that hippopotamus to shreds. Okay. He's just laying there. I mean, all you see is these two eyes. You don't see anything. You just see these two eyes floating carefully and slowly. It didn't look like much at all. But that little crocodile, I mean, not little in the big picture, but the little crocodile, he can take down an entire hippopotamus. with one jump. You got to be ready for that kind of stuff. Now, the last 3 weeks, that's right. It's been going on for 3 weeks now, Brandon, since I've been coming on the last couple of weeks here. We've been talking about a very consistent theme. And that consistent theme has been, don't, for the love of all your hard work to obtain your money, run out into the stock market and buy Tesla right before earnings or buy Microsoft right before earnings just because a bunch of other people are talking about this on some knuckleheaded internet site that you found from Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, we've been talking about this nonstop. Now, occasionally you'll get lucky, and it's luck. Okay, because you don't have a plan, you don't have a formulated, time-tested, proven method. You just hear a bunch of people talking on Reddit or some, again, knuckleheaded YouTube site. And you think, oh, I'm going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to buy this. Occasionally, you can get lucky, and you can buy Google before the pop. Okay, most of the time you won't, though. Most of the time you'll buy Netflix right before, and you'll get dumped on. You'll buy Tesla, you get dumped on. We've been saying this for 3 straight weeks.
Yeah,
and it's been leading up to this. I don't even need to say anything else tonight.
Yeah.
Or do I drop the mic and walk
away? We've been saying it, Romulus. Don't buy before earnings. Don't trade over earnings. I think I've said it every week.
Every week.
You know what I'm saying?
And we've been talking about Apple in particular. Don't go near this thing. Oh, but it's Apple, Romulus. It can't. Okay.
All right.
I mean, you want to jump in there and lose 10% of your money in the snap of an Apple crack, then you go ahead. That's just not for me. That's not how I trade and invest. It's not how the Centurions trade and invest. It's not how people in the Victory Unit trade and invest. It's not what we do. Okay? Just don't go out there. And what we're saying is don't make that simple rookie mistake, because here's what's going on. As you're out there buying Apple because, oh, it's Apple, the big institutions, the smart money, and me and Brandon, we're selling it to you.
Yeah.
All right? We're selling it to you. I don't know why you didn't just drive over to my backyard and dump a bunch of money in my driveway. I mean, that would have been a lot easier for you. Okay.
That's a fact.
So just take it easy, breathe, relax, take your time, get a plan. Do not go out. And this holds for any kind of a situation, because the earnings are over now, except for a bunch of small companies. The earnings for the second quarter are done. They will not start up again until October. So we got a couple of months left, about a little over 2 months before earnings season starts up again. And you have to think about this, okay? You have time to contemplate your mistakes, how much money you lost, acting frivolously and without any kind of plan, all right? Oh, by the way, speaking of a plan, Brandon, you and I know one of the trades that we love to do around here. It doesn't pop up too often. It comes out mostly during earnings season, and mostly when the crocodile gets real close to that hippo. He knows he doesn't have to expend a lot of energy to snack on that big fat sucker. Okay. But it's an earnings driven phenomena primarily. But there is an awesome trade that could potentially be setting up in Disney tomorrow. Yeah, this is going to be great. We're going to be all over this like a mouse on an amusement park ride. Okay. That's coming tomorrow. You want to read your email. You want to check the trade alerts. Be alert for this because it's coming. All right, so back to the markets. How much lower? That's the wrong question, boss. How much lower? How much longer? Those are you know what? People worry about the wrong things, don't they? People spend a lot of time worrying about the wrong things. And one of the wrong things to worry about right now is how much lower this market can go and how much longer this correction can last. Those are two incorrect questions. The question you should be asking yourself is, number one, are you prepared for any type of further decline? And number two, are you ready to profit from that decline? And then lastly, are you ready and prepared to profit whenever it is done going down, whether that's next week, the week after, several months from now, or anywhere in between? And whether that's only 3% further down or 30% further down, or again, anywhere in between.
Anything can happen.
Anything. Those are the right questions that you should be asking yourself right now. Speaking of that, tomorrow, as every Wednesday, Legatus Greg and I, we do something in the Victory Unit Discord, which is somewhere you need to be.
Come on.
But you need to be in our Victory Unit Discord that Brandon and I have built up by the sweat of our very, very wealthy brows. Because every Wednesday, tomorrow included, at 4:15 Eastern time, we do something called Traders Town Hall. That's not only is it free to join the Discord, But this particular gathering, this session is also free.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of free sessions. I come on here for a few minutes on Tuesday night, and then I do a trader town hall, and that's it. Those are my public appearances. Everything else that I do is reserved for people that are Centurions in the Victory Unit Legion. But tomorrow, I'm going to be discussing a fascinating topic. One of our Victory Unit participants asked this of me yesterday. They said, Romulus, when you were in your 20s, did you buy stocks that were considered conservative style, maybe like a Verizon, for example, which I do own, full disclosure. I've been selling covered calls and collecting dividends, and it's really working out well. Or did you buy things like, I don't know, Roku or even a Tesla, some of these more aggressive growth style companies? Wrong question. That's the wrong question. Tomorrow, we are going to show you how to ask the right question and how to arrive at the right answer. 4:15 tomorrow, and it is not the right question. There's something far more important that you need to be asking yourself, but you're looking in the right direction. At least you're starting to create some smoke, and where there's smoke, there's potentially fire. So I applaud whoever asked me that question. I don't know who it was, but whoever asked me that question, I applaud you, because you're bringing up a phenomenal subject that is critically important to your long-term wealth generation and preservation. Critically important.
That's a fact.
Speaking of all that, not only should you come and join us on Discord tomorrow, which you definitely need to do that, but a week from tomorrow, which is August 16th, Brandon, myself, Legatus Greg, we're hosting another free webinar, and we're going to be talking about a lot of these topics in much greater detail. So you have to make sure that you are joining us for that as well. Okay, so that's next week. All right. Sorry to get out of. We'll get out of this Roku here in a second here and come back to the market. So again, the action this year hasn't really been so much in the S&P. The S&P has benefited by default because Apple and Microsoft and Google are the three largest companies in the S&P 500. But those companies are concentrated primarily in the tech market, which is demonstrated by a basket of these bigger tech stocks called the triple Qs, or affectionately known as the NASDAQ 100, the 100 largest stocks in the NASDAQ exchange. And you see this. By the way, there's another slightly more narrow way to take a look at this index, and that is through a grouping in an ETF called XLK, which is even more narrow and a little more specifically focused in large cap technology stocks than is even the triple Qs. And this is where, again, all the action has been in 2023. There's a reason for my madness over here that I keep bringing this up and leading you down this so straight path. Look at this. See the golden line right there? You know what that is, Brandon? That's a 50-day moving average. Okay.
Is what day moving average?
50.
It's a 50, yeah.
50-day moving average on the XLK. Look at that. 3 closes in a row below this line. The 21-day moving average is now slanting down. The last time this closed below the 50-day moving average was all the way back here in early January, 7 months ago. Do you think that has meaning and significance? I do.
Yeah,
I think it's significant.
It may not be some foreshadowing is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, over the coming weeks and possibly months, this is telling you something. Okay. So what happens when you get a new downtrend like this after a nice run? Because in the past month and a half or so, the Discord, the YouTube sites, the chat rooms, the Reddit files, all the knucklehead YouTube sites out there, they're talking about getting long everything. Okay. I mean, if it was moving and if it had 4 letters on the ticker symbol, they're trying to get long.
Yeah.
And I'm over there looking at everybody on the same side of the boat, knowing that starts to put a tilt and a lean on that side of the boat. In order to be safe, I want to go to the other side. Okay, now that the markets are selling off a little bit, because for a while, the NASDAQ market was going up to a new rally high every other day.
Yeah.
And all these traders and investors are patting themselves on the back saying, look how smart I am. Oh, I'm freaking brilliant. I'm making money every other day. It's going to a new high. I must be a genius. And now they're starting to realize that, oh, wait a minute. I'm not so smart after all. So they're starting to feel and recognize that, hey, wait a minute, because the NASDAQ market has not hit a new high since July 19th. Okay, been a couple of weeks. And there's a little bit of a ghost that's whispering in the back of their mind. Hey, dummy, wake up. Something's changing out there.
Yeah.
There's a storm cloud on the horizon. but they're not ready to just, kick the bucket on these things yet. But there's starting to be a growing level of concern. Now, the smarter traders, us, we're already long gone and profiting from the decline.
Yeah.
We're already locked in on that. Okay. But again, we're the smarter of the bunch. When you hear the term smart money, just look at the guy on the screen right there and know that's the face of smart money. Okay. Because that's us. All right. Given a few more weeks of this, though, their temporary, very slight concern will start to turn to sadness and then worry. And then they might be actually worried about the right thing there, which is preservation of their capital. Okay. They start to think, well, wait a minute, this could be a long time before these stocks get to new highs. I was wrong. And the selling starts to increase and feed upon itself. You see, when things break out, I want you to picture this, Brandon. I want you to picture a car. You're driving said car down the highway. Everything's fine. And then you hit a hill, maybe a mountain, and you start to go up this mountain in your car. You need a lot of gas in that tank to get to the top of that mountain.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. But you start to drive down the hill. You don't need any gas in the tank. You just let the gravity do the work.
You don't need help to fall. Yeah.
Gravity will pull it down. Okay. And that's what happens initially. Gravity just starts to pull things down. But then towards the end of the declines is when people get worried.
Yeah.
That's what they should have been worried 3-4 weeks ago when we were starting to get out and start to place our positions properly to make money from this down move. That's what happens. Okay.
That's a fact.
Just picture a car. You're running out of gas as you're moving up the hill, but you don't need gas in the tank to start going down. And then when you get closer to the end, that's when people start to really freak out and really worry. So the selling that we've seen so far, it really could be just nothing so far.
It might just
doesn't mean that it is, because I'm not going to spill that. That's for our Centurion Legion.
Yo, so make sure you join the victory unit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna Romulus and Greg, my boy Greg. He's helped me a lot too. They're doing a free training tomorrow. It's just all on trading, all on the market. Yeah. So you don't want to miss out on that. That's going to be free in the Victory Unit Discord.
Yeah. You know and then a week from tomorrow, we've got our webinar, longer form. That's Brandon, Greg, and myself. We have an awesome time at this event. You really want to make sure you get there live, because we are going to be absolutely blowing you over, and we can't wait to see you. So
for sure, man.
What do you think? Did we hit our numbers tonight, Brandon? Did we do the job?
I think so, man. This is Romulus. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, take it easy. Listen, make sure y'all join the Victory Unit, man, because y'all have stuff like that. You got Romulus, my man Greg, and Romulus doing free trainings in there. I got free courses in there, tons of free. We're gonna put some more free courses in there too, right? The last one we put in the discipline ebook, and I'll have another one in there next month. Like basically, I'm taking all the stuff that I used to charge for, and I'm putting it for free in the Victory Unit Discord, because I want to help y'all win. I want to help y'all win. Hey, speaking of winning, I think we have some super chats, right? Let's read some of these super chats.
And guess who's back? Blackjack.
Big Blackjack Mastery's back.
I did the time audit you asked. I earned $31 an hour with my job.
Okay.
And $166 an hour with my business. I work 4 hours a day on my business. How would I scale my IG business with the free time if I quit my job? Create content, reels all day to get clients, cold DM.
Yeah, you definitely need a plan. It might be more in depth than I can go to, but that's insight, right? So just so y'all can catch up. Last week he was asking, shout out to Blackjack. Last week he was asking, should he quit his job and focus on his business full time? And I was like, well, let's find out how much you make per hour for each one. And it looks like you losing money at your job by not working on your business during that time. But that's only if you know how to make that same amount of money during your free time. I mean, you know what I'm saying? With your job. So you're gonna have to come up with like a serious game plan, Blackjack. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to come up with like a serious game plan and a system and a structure, you know. And I don't know if I can get that to you, right? Because it's not, I don't know enough about your business. I'm just to be honest with you. I don't know enough about how you acquire customers. I don't know enough about what the customer journey is like. And it's probably more that we can go into right now. if I knew all that, I could help you develop a plan. However, I will say before you quit, though, this is what I did. I made sure I was making twice as much money from my business than I was from my job. You already get that check, right? And I had 6 months of expenses saved. 6 months of expenses saved. Right. So I knew that shit hit the fan. If I was wrong, if I made a mistake or something changed, fucking Instagram got shut down, something like, I'd still be able to have 6 months to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's super important to me. And I always keep at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses saved up. So if shit hits the fan, like it's not like panic time. I ain't here selling watches or you know what I'm saying, like doing a wacky shit to get money because I got a nest egg. That's super important. You never know, because the last time I had to dip into that was C19, because I just didn't want, like, we were still making money, but I just didn't know what was going to happen. So I stopped paying myself and I just started saving all the money I would pay myself in case we needed a bunch. And I just lived off my savings until it looked like the coast was clear, because I wanted to make sure I didn't lay no one off. You know, they had a bunch of employees. I didn't want to lay no one off. I didn't want to fire nobody. And there was people I was paying who wasn't even working, but I didn't want them to lose their job. They ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm the leader. I'm the captain of this ship. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not letting no one die on my ship unless I kill him. So I wish I could help you more, Blackjack, but it would just, we would have to, like, me and you would have to, like, sit down for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, man. Let's keep making that progress, bro. Let's, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I will say, Blackjack? Sit down, think, what would I have to do? What kind of effort would I have to put in that would make it impossible for me to fail? Whatever your goal is, pick the goal. What would it have to make it impossible? What would make it impossible to fail? Right? Because most people think, oh, what do I have to do to accomplish this? And they kind of pussyfoot. But what would make it impossible to fail? That's a different level of commitment. Think about that. Write that out. Come up, and then that's probably going to be your game plan, man. You know what I'm saying? That's whatever that is probably going to be your game plan. All right. What else we got?
Follow up, actually.
What's up?
He has a.
He's got a follow up.
He says, please share more legal lick strategy. Try to pay shout outs and shared my results and testimonials on IG story, but limited success. How often does your nephew buy shout outs and how much does he spend per day? How do I find good shout out pages? I'm
gonna be honest with you, man. He's a shithead now, right? Like he done fucked everything up, man. So he's like, you know what happened? He made a bunch of money, like almost $1 million, right? And then, but he wasn't disciplined. So he started indulging in that shit, you know, like indulging in the lifestyle, having a bunch of money, going out all the time, getting drunk, getting high, chasing hoes, all that shit. And he stopped doing the things that got him there. Success is more dangerous than failure. Here's what the strategy looks like. Boom. You find IG pages, and these will be like pages that do like meme pages or pages around sports. So I mean, we utilize the strategy with a bunch of different people I've worked with. For example, Splashman I helped him set up a business where he was doing print on demand. This is when he first started, right? My boy Splashman, he was like 16, and all right, listen, we're gonna go set up t-shirts. It's a t-shirt business. You're gonna do print on demand with Shopify, so you don't have to hold inventory. You just come up with the logos, right? So he paid an artist on like Fiverr to make the designs for the t-shirts, right? Right, boom. And they were t-shirts on NBA. It was like drawings of NBA fucking guys, right? You know, James Harden or something. This shit was super illegal. I don't think he's allowed to just sell pictures of James Harden, but whatever. He was in Canada. What they gonna do? And and then he would find these like NBA pages or pages that talk about basketball. And these pages don't have no way to make money except for they don't have no way to make money except for advertisement shout outs. So we pay them to shout out his, okay, my fault. I'll show you how he did it. This is a little different. He would pay them to shout out his IG. Sorry. His IG, boom. And in the IG, he would send them to his Shopify site. Oh, sorry. He would send them to his his Shopify website. Boom. All right. Then, so the guys didn't, this is going in the wrong spot. Boom. All right. Now, here's the thing. If they, now some people will go there and just buy the shit. They would just buy. But the people who did not buy, what we did was we set up Facebook ads, right? That was retargeting the people who did not buy, right? So the Facebook ads, boom. Hey man, you forgot to buy that shit. You know what I'm saying? And these ads were like super retargeting is the best kind of most profitable kind of advertising you can do. But a lot of people, when they first started, they don't have enough traffic to do retargeting. So what we did, this supplied the traffic. Boom. All right. So it's really like Blackjack, you just got to find some pages to shout your shit out. You know what I'm saying? And send them to you. And you want to vet them first. You make them send you their analytics and you know where they're tell them to send you where like the analytics, the demographics of the people that are their followers and where their followers are from, right? You don't want a bunch of people from India on their shit. Hey, I love people from India, but you know the currency makes it difficult for them to make purchases. It's yeah. So you know, we would just pick a few, but you know, if it's not when you say limited, I would have to know exactly how much you did, how much you spend, how many pages, how many times you did it, right? Because if you do something once and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. And if you do something once and it does work, that doesn't mean that it works. You got to get a large enough sample size to make a fair assessment. For example, if I go outside, never touch a basketball, shoot a 3-pointer, and it goes in, well, that means I got a 100% 3-point percentage. That don't mean I'm fucking Steph Curry, bro. Right? That don't mean I should try out for the NBA, right? Because 100% would mean that I'm the best 3-point shooter of all time. But the sample size is only one, right? So it's not fair enough. It's not a large enough sample size to make a fair assessment. Those numbers aren't statistically relevant, right? So you want to make sure that when you're making decisions, it's based off data that's large enough to be statistically relevant. All right. What else we got?
We have J1 through 9, K1.
Okay.
God bless you, King Keto. How do you vet for the right friends and business colleagues? Would your friends also add subtract from exponential success and growth, even if you're in solid frame?
You know what, man? You know, this is something like I'm so like busy and so focused. Even when I before I was making money, I was so focused that it's like I wasn't just like hanging out with people. We wouldn't just hang out and do like friend shit, you know? So it got to the point where if I'm kicking it with somebody, it is usually like we're on the same path or we're helping each other with our goals. And that's kind of like my friends now. Like almost all my friends, like we're involved in each other's goals in some capacity. And it's not like I didn't screen for that, but I'm just going so hard that this is how it ends up happening. You know what I'm saying? In some capacity, you know, some way, but it's like, you know, if you're living right, man, if you know, you're going to attract more of who you are. You get what I'm saying? So when people talk about all these negative people around them and it's like, what I'm hearing is, oh, I have all these problems as well. That's why I'm attracting such a large sample size of people with the same shit going on. You get what I'm saying? Right? Like I wasn't out looking for baller shot caller friends or people who were serious about like who else is going to fuck with me? Like who else would want to who else would want to do this shit? Like, and a lot of people would feel inferior around me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that. I mean, I know that how that sounds, but there ain't no other way to say it, you know? I would shine a light on their insecurities, you know, and they couldn't stand it. You know, they would have to hate. And you see that's reflective in, you know, some of the people around. But you know, when guys are talking about, you know, here's something, man. There's something you should pay attention to. Right? When you see a lot of guys on the internet complaining about girls, complaining about women, all girls want this, or all girls are like this, or all girls are bad. It was like, look at those guys and look at what they're putting out in the world. Look at their social media. Look at how they're advertising themselves. Like, what the fuck else were they going to attract, right? Like, were they going to attract a fucking virgin? Were they going to attract a virgin homemaker with posting bottles at the club with fucking posting them in their fucking team of hoodlums smoking weed, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, what did they think was going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Or even the guy with the fucking the Lambo guy with the fucking, he's talking about is just flexing his wealth and stuff, right? You know, that guy's complaining. If he starts complaining about women, it's like, well, what the fuck did you expect? Like, what kind of women did you think was gonna fucking show up? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the same with friends too. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if I was single right now, like only a certain type of woman would want to fuck with me, right? I'm fucking up. I'm trying to be sleep at 9. You think these fucking whores would want to fucking deal with that shit? These bitches ain't even out till 11. You know what I'm saying? So like, when you're living right, you're only going to attract people who are on that same path. You're going to attract more of what you are. Like, they're the only people who are going to want to fuck with you. You get what I'm saying? But you want to know a secret? Every guy, when you see him complaining about girls, or you complaining about, especially women, that's a reflection of him. Like, I've always saw it as, they're going to call me a simp for this, but I get called a simp all the time. I'm like, if I'm a simp, like, these motherfuckers would call James Bond a simp because he saved a hoe who was dying or something, right? These motherfuckers would call James Bond a simp. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, these motherfuckers won't watch John Wick. He's like, man, he's simping over that dead bitch for 3 hours, man. Killing people over some bitch, man. Simp. I digress. These motherfuckers complaining about women all the time, how bad they are. You really need to think about, why are you attracting that kind of woman? Like, they're not. You can't tell me that half the population is this exact way. Like, that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're going to attract more of what you're like. Same thing when you see women complain about guys all the time. It's like, well, why are you attracting that kind of guy? These bitches will say, man, all men cheat, all men are awful, right? But then, you know, all she got is ass and titty pics, and talking about her in the club. Like, what kind of guy is going to be interested in that? You know what I'm saying? A good, faithful man who's not going to, the fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? The fuck you mean? Right? Like, what do you expect? Right? If you were, but let's use an extreme example. If you are actually a legitimate preacher and like you preach in a congregation every week, you probably attract a Christian woman, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, the chick who want to be with you is probably like into the fucking Jesus and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's an extreme example, right? Just to illustrate the point, you know, like, when you see a man or a woman complaining about the opposite sex, when you see a man or woman complain about the opposite sex consistently, they don't understand is they're attracting that kind of person because of who they are, right? Like, the real G's, like, I'm telling you, man, like, my closest friends, like my inner circle, like, they never complain about women because women treat them great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never had an adversarial relationship with women. You know, like, I hear all these like horror stories. I'm like, yo, bitches like that don't even come to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they'll treat you. They might treat you that way. They wouldn't treat me that way. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't treat the right guy that way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's how women treat you. Sometimes that's a reflection of how you are. You know what I'm saying? Like if I used to think like if a girl like flaked on a date, instead of being mad at her, say, "Oh, bitches are flaky," I'd be like, I bet she wouldn't have. I bet she wouldn't have flaked on Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like she wouldn't have flaked on Drake. It's not that she's flaky; she flaked on me, but she wouldn't have flaked on everyone, right? You know what I'm saying? That's real shit, and that's like a hard truth that like a lot of guys don't want to internalize. Again, they're gonna call me a simp for that. These same guys would call James Bond a simp because he literally saves hoes. You know, he's done it in like mad movies, but so it's cool. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, this one girl, man, we were supposed to hang out. This is a long time ago. We were supposed to hang out. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Oh, she canceled the man. She had to do something with her mama," and I believed that it was true, right? I believe it was true, right? But yo, if she was about to hang out with Drake, she would be like, "Yo, mama, you got to figure something out, mama, I need you to handle this yourself." You know what I'm saying? And her mama would have been like, "Yes, girl, go on, get out of here. I'll handle it." You know what I'm saying? For the right guy, she'll act right. Maybe you just ain't the right guy. Maybe you need to work on yourself. So when I remember that exact same situation, I was like, yo, I need to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? I need to become more undeniable. This motherfucker don't see my value. Bitch out here blocking her blessing. You know what I'm saying? She don't even see. I need to make my awesomeness undeniable. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, then like fucking bullshit ass people, guys, friends, they're not going to be in your life. You won't have to worry about them. You won't even see them. Like I don't even see them. Like they're not in my vicinity. They're not in my circle. You know what I'm saying? None of my inner circle never complain about women. They never complain about other people because we only the fucking ballers want to be with us, man. You know what I'm saying? Like only the real motherfuckers want to be with us, both men and women. You know what I'm saying? It's real shit. Hey, what else we got?
We have David.
Why are you laughing?
We have David Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
Love your course, by the way. When you started your business, did you fail? And please recommend a book that helped you have a better understanding of how to run a business and manage one. Thank you.
You know, listen, when you're a solopreneur, when it's just you, well, first of all, thank for that money, David. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna go to a garbage company. At first, it's like simple shit, right? You know, the most important thing when you're a solopreneur is getting sales, right? So you're gonna need to learn like marketing and sales. Good sales book is Pitch Anything, and a good marketing book is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Like those are good books for that, for where you're at when you just started. And did I fail? Not only did I fail when I started, like I failed, I didn't quit, right? I kept going. I was going to make that first one win. I didn't have a choice. Like it was literally like a gun in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to make that shit work. But I failed many businesses. You know, I failed in a bunch of shit between then and now. You know, just pick yourself back up. You know what I'm saying? You just keep going, man. You just got. That's kind of what life's about, like being able to take the hits and not get derailed and not let it knock you off of your. Not let life knock you off of your game. Excuse me. That's like super important. And don't let things knock you off your game. And if you fail, get back up. But it's also like keeping your life right. Like the more strong you are structurally, mentally, and the more solid you are as an individual, then you can take different hits without it fucking the whole thing up. Because the average person is just fucking teetering on the edge at all times. Like as far as their health. They're not taking care of their health. They're not really fucking focusing on their money. They're not really focusing on their mental health, their mindset, right? So they're just teetering on the edge on many levels of life, right? So when something big happens, it turns into a tragedy, right? But if you solid on those foundations, and something big can happen, and it's like you can just stand firm, right? Because what it takes to succeed is to be able to be really consistent over a long period of time, the way we talked about earlier, right? You got to be so solid with your foundation that a big thing won't knock you off, but even like the little things, right? Like some motherfuckers, yo, I gotta one of the homies, man. He broke up with his girl recently. This motherfucker, man, flies to Mexico, starts doing ayahuasca shit, writing long ass Facebook posts, publicly crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this motherfucker. And that just tells, not to say a breakup's not a dramatic thing, but it just lets me know he wasn't solid on all fronts. Right? He had a lot of other shit going on, and that was the thing that broke him. The breakup. Then his business is suffering, everything's going fucking haywire, right? Because he wasn't solid. But if he was solid, he'd be able to take that breakup, fucking keep moving. You know what I'm saying? I got divorced. I didn't even tell y'all motherfuckers, right? Like I just stayed on my path. You know what I'm saying? Like because I was solid on the foundations that it didn't fucking break me. You know what I'm saying? To make me it just make me fucking crumble, right? So the big things, but also the little things. You know, you got to be so solid that nothing can knock you off, right? You know, and that just comes from building the right habits and having everything in order. I would say that, I mean, that's why most businesses fail, right? Because most people suck. You know what I'm saying? Like most businesses fail because most people suck. You know what I'm saying? But most businesses started by like straight up solid motherfuckers with good habits, and they're tracking them and they're accountable, and it's hard for that motherfucker to lose, you know? So I would say that'd be real important for you. Hey, speaking of books, let's do the book of the week. Hold on, I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? But we about to do the book of the week. Hold up. Let's do the intro again. I'm ready now. This is my show. I can do the intro as many times as I want. It's all right. Man, do it one more time. This week's book of the week is 80/20 Sales and Marketing, the definitive guide to working less and making more. So this is a book I read early in my career. And as you can see, I have like tons of pages bookmarked, and I have it all highlighted and underlined. Like I'm all in this motherfucker, right? And you know, this book it covers a lot in this book. It's super insightful, and it changed a lot for me. So first of all, the author Perry Marshall, Perry did a intro of what's called the 80/20 principle, right? Some people call it the 80/20 principle. Basically, 20% of your results, 20% of your actions typically account for 80% of your results. You see this in other areas, you know, you see this in the economy. 20% of the population has 80% of the money. You see that in America across generations, and different countries is very similar as well. And you see this you see this mathematical principle keep coming up over and over again, right? 20% of the people do 80% of the crime. You know what I'm saying? You know, 20% of the ballers and fucking 80% of the hoes. You see this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? 20% of the losers hate on 80% of my videos. You know what I'm saying? You see this shit all the time, right? And what Perry, so there's a few standout principles that I got from this book. There's a few standout takeaways that I got from this book. One was Perry said that if you have a customer base, right, there is 20% of that customer base that would pay, well, 80%, 20% of your customers probably end up with 80%, probably account for 80% of your revenue. And I saw this with my supplement company. There was 20% of people who would just buy a lot of it over and over and over again. But he also said that this 20% would spend way more if you had something to offer them. If you had a more expensive product or service to offer them, that these people will buy. These are your super fans. These are your super fans, your true believers. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody else, they spend some money, but these guys, given the opportunity, they would spend way more. All right. So what did that look like for me in my business? Right. So when I had the supplement line, what I would go into my email software. It was called Klaviyo, and it was synced up to Shopify. And I would say, hey, show me the customers that have spent $1,000 or more. Right? Because some people may buy something once, they might buy something $1,000 or more. Then I had another tier, $5,000 or more. Then I had another tier, $10,000, right? You know what I'm saying? Or more. Right? No. Yeah. These were different tiers. And what I would do with this is I would make segments with of these people in the email software, and I would send these guys special deals, like only they got, like my best customers, you know what I'm saying? But they would be deals that I felt like the regular motherfuckers would not buy, right? So I'd be like, man, you get for $1,000, you get all these supplements where like somebody else probably might not spend $1,000 the whole time they're with us, right? But these guys, they're like such avid fans that I can like set up a bulk deal and give them like a percentage off if they buy $1,000, if they spend $1,000 this week, right? And these would be my most profitable emails, because with like Klaviyo, you could see which emails you sent made the most money. You can see how much money each email sent. And every time I would send something out like this, we'd make significantly more money. And because Facebook because Klaviyo integrated with Facebook, I would set up custom audiences on Facebook and then send them ads that only they would see to the same offer. And those ads would be super profitable too, just in case they didn't see the email. And we just made a significant amount of money with that. And that's just one chapter of this book, you know what I'm saying, where he talks about how to segment your customers into the most profitable ones and how to market to them more. And that strategy just made us a ton of money. All right. Then then Perry talked about how 80% of your results probably come from only 20% of your effort. So it makes sense to do this stuff more, right? Do the 20% more. So this is how I first really started getting introduced to the idea of buying back my time. Let me see if I can find the part. I think I earmarked it for you motherfuckers. Oh, you know what? Here, back to the other point, this part I earmarked, Perry says, a handy rule of thumb. The 80-20 rule says that 20% of the people will spend 4 times the money. It also says that 4% of the people will spend 16 times the money. Memorize this. Is one of the most powerful facts you can know in business. And that's how we applied it with that strategy I showed you. When you make the video, move that to the right. But let me find the shit I was telling you about, the time. Hold up. Fuck. Hope I can find it for you, man. All right, fuck it. I can't find it, but I'll explain it anyway. So kind of what I always tell people to do, and this is what I do, is I started thinking about my life. Right. Well, first in business, you're doing everything. When you first start, you're doing everything. Right. You might be doing, hold on, let me make this better. You might be doing the marketing, boom, sales, boom, the customer service, right? And me, I made the websites, boom, I was writing the copy, emails, you're doing everything, and there's even more stuff you got to do when you're running a business, right? However, soon as I was making any amount of money, first thing I started doing was paying other people to do these things, because I knew that the most important part, the part to make the most money for me at the time, was the sales and marketing. Right. So what I started doing was, first thing, I hired people to do customer service. I hired people to do website development. I hired people to write copy. Boom. And now the 20% of things that were making me the most money, right? The 20% of things that were making me the most money, I'm doing 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? And then the business is instantly more profitable as a result, because now my time is not divided. But I took it to the next level, and I actually got this from Perry. You start looking at your life. So, man, what are things in your life that you do that don't make you money, right? Well, okay, so you got to clean, right? You got to cook, right? For me, it was drive, especially in New York. It's just a nightmare. You got to find parking, all that other shit. What else do motherfuckers do? Laundry. What else? I'm so fucking elitist. I don't even remember what you motherfuckers do. Yeah, grocery shopping, and they got to do something else. Fuck you motherfuckers be doing. Oh, dishes. I mean, maybe that's cleaning, but whatever. We'll just put it in there. All right, cool. This is like life stuff, right? And work, right? Work is what makes you the most money. All right. Well, work is the only thing on here that makes you money, right? So if you can spend more time doing the thing that makes you most money, and when you're in the business, you're doing the highest leverage task there, then you really start to multiply your leverage with the same amount of work. Same amount of work, you're making more money, right? So what I immediately started doing was I would go on TaskRabbit, found a Jamaican lady to clean my house. What to go on? She come on, clean up, right? Boom. Groceries, I would just call Fresh Direct. That was the only thing that delivered at the time. Got rid of my car, said fuck it, Uber and the Subway at the time, right? I found a laundry place. Korean guys, they would come and pick the laundry up and drop it off, and they would wash it better because they would fold it. I would never fold my shit. I just throw that shit. They were doing it better. And then I don't remember what this other one was, dishes. Oh yeah, I started getting all plastic paper plates. I know the environment. Look, bro. Fuck you. All right. And and now I'm not doing all these tasks, right? Now I can spend more time on work or things that I enjoy. Right? Or things that I enjoy. Right now, if I liked cooking, I would do that. I know some people, I love cooking. All right, fucking Betty Crocker. You know what I'm saying? If you like cooking and do it, but that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? So indoor things I enjoy, like yo mama. And so I started doing these things. Right now I got more time because I bought the time back. But let's look at it. I would track the time I worked plus the time divided by the amount of money I make, and I would get what's called the hourly rate. Boom. Now we'll do some simple math. Let's say you make $100 an hour, right? But you spend an hour cleaning, right? You say let's say, but you can go on TaskRabbit right now and find somebody to clean your house for $40 an hour, $45, $50 an hour. Fuck it, we use simple math. $50 an hour, right? You may be tempted to think, oh, if I do it myself, I can save $50. No, dumbass. If you do it yourself, you lost $50 because you could have been working during that time, and you would have netted. If you pay this motherfucker, you're going to net. If you pay this motherfucker and work during that time, you're going to net $50 profit, right? So I just started applying that to everything in my life, and I just made way more money as a result. You know, I really got that from. I was first introduced to that concept from this book, along with, you know, Perry just goes into detail. This book is kind of all over the place, but it's all about the 80-20 principle, and it's super good. It's a classic, man. This book kind of changed the way I think about time and money, right? Poor people spend time to save money. Ballers spend money to save time, right? Because you can always get back more money. You can always get money back, right? You motherfuckers spend all your money every week, every month, and what happens? You get paid again, you get some more money. You know what I'm saying? You fucking lose that time, you don't never get that back, right? So you start thinking, and when you start thinking time in terms of your hourly rate, how much you work per hour, then you start to look at the actual cost of doing things as opposed to having people do it yourself. I mean, you start to look at the cost of doing things as opposed to paying someone to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I was to sit around and clean my own house, this place is fucking huge, right? If I was to clean this place myself, that would be a gross misallocation of resources, right? But because I actually pay someone to do it, they're mad happy, right? Because they got to pay. I get to give somebody some work, providing jobs. They pay their family. You know what I'm saying? And I get to make more money. I'd be literally working while a team of immigrants is in here cleaning. You know what I'm saying? And they're super happy to do it. They go pay their families, and it's dope. Everybody wins. I'm fucking boosting the economy on your bitch ass. And everybody's winning. You know what I'm saying? And people make fun of me. Oh, I'm gonna pay somebody to wipe my ass on that shit because I could be making money. I hate you motherfuckers, man. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I hate you motherfuckers who say that shit. You are the worst among us, right? Because you can only pay people to do stuff, to do things that can be done by other people, right? You obviously have to do all the things you have to do yourself, right? I can't pay someone to do this podcast because I'm the superstar, right? I can't pay no one to wipe my ass because I'm not fruity like you. You know what I'm saying? You paying people to do all types of shit to your ass. Anyway, check out the book. Links in the description. Hey, let's just power run through any fucking super chats we got.
All right, we have Money Moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, BBC,
Mm-hmm.
sorry. How did you manage a girl dating while working towards your first meal? Did you text them every day, talk on the phone, or just go on a date or 2 a week? What do you recommend?
Listen, man, like, chicks wasn't really my priority getting to that first meal. That first meal is hard, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really like, it just wasn't a priority, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to, there's certain times in your life, you got to make sacrifices. And if you're not willing to sacrifice for your goal, then the goal becomes a sacrifice, right? So, you know, I probably didn't manage that well. I definitely didn't manage that well, but I also didn't care. That's not advice. That's what I did. Yeah.
We have Mad Max.
Big. Yep.
You're the man, Brandon.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
My goal is to become an excellent high-ticket closer. I'm going to work 16 hours a day if that's necessary to accomplish it. On what courses, books, jobs, people would you spend that time?
You know, I haven't read a bad sales book, right? Some are better than others, but I haven't read a bad one, right? So I would just get a bunch of them. And will you post a video on the full immersion technique? Maybe not, but anyway, the full immersion technique. So this is what I do. This is what I did when I was trying to make. I have a video. What's the title of it? He's gonna pull that out for you, man. The title of the video to check out because I gotta go.
Bam. We have Know Me, Homie. People usually change when they hit rock bottom. Do you think that's necessary?
No. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessary, but sometimes like that's what some people do need that but that's only because they're shitheads, you know, they need life to fucking slap them around and show them who's boss. You know what I'm saying? But you could show yourself who's boss, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but not everybody's tough enough to do that. Don't worry, life will do it for you. If you're, they only do it, that only happens to them because they let life do it to them, as opposed to they let the life discipline them instead of disciplining themselves. So you're going to get disciplined one way or another. Either you're going to do it to yourself or you're going to wait till life does it for you. But it's going to happen.
We have William, New York plumber in the building. How do you advertise for more of an emergency business like plumbing?
Google, you want to do local Facebook ads and local Google ads. You can advertise radius. One of my boys, he was in Toronto, and what he would do is he had an ad of himself just like flexing, like a sizzle reel of him flexing. It wasn't even an ad, it was just a video, and he advertised that to every girl 18 to 25 within a mile radius of his house. And then he spent like $5K to make sure every girl 18 to 25 saw that within a mile radius house. Then he put his Tinder on 1 mile. So like when they saw him, they'd be like, oh, I think I've seen you before, right? Like, no, really? You don't sing. What's up?
So I pinned the video fully merged.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bro. That's the video for you. The motherfucker who's acting about sales. Check that out. That's I break down the strategy.
Bam, we have income tools.
All right.
Still implementing full immersion strategy. I do take breaks from it in the day, but I feel like you didn't. So I got to get better. LOL. Got one new client so far.
Yeah, you got to get better. But hey, got one new client. It's making progress, right? Start the compound. You know, how bad do you want it? Income tools. Your actions will be your reflection of that.
Armand, appreciate you, brother. Love from London, 2 a.m.
Hey, yo, what up, man? London, isn't it? Yo, I love London, man. It's one of my favorite cities. Really, because it's just like a fucking goofy New York. It's like a wacky New York. Like the cops don't have guns, streets are man narrow, everybody talk like they in Peppa Pig. And it's like I love it. I just walk around smiling. I can't get enough of that fucking wacky place. And it's one of my favorite places to go. I love y'all.
We have Shadow. Chill, Fresh doing his best. The lover boy method requires a bit of deception, essentially using their tactics on them.
I feel, Fresh is my man. Fresh is going to be here next week. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be on, this week, Thursday. We got a guest. Fresh is going to be on the podcast. That's exciting. That's it. Done. Hey, you know what it is, man. This has been another episode of the Victory Talk podcast. Listen, like, subscribe, share it. I don't even know how to do that, right? But you do, because you be on the internet all the time watching me. Congratulations. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.